I I sort of want to talk about where I find myself now, because I don't think that'll take long to go back into experience. Where I feel I am again, in the sense of spirit, being, like feeling, mindset and stuff, is back when I was about 15, 16. It's the mixture of all of them. that's the balance, to be honest with you, when I perspect it. I'm embodying all of who I am and who I'm currently and who I'm going to be, but then blended all into this current. What I've liked, what I've not liked, what I've picked up, what I've dropped, what I want to pick up, what I want to drop, what I am picking up, what I am dropping. So all of those tenses. I balance between the three. No stuck in the past, no lost in the present, even though it's sort of where you want to be. You want to be living in the present, but conscious of both the past and the future. If you live for the present moment and don't care for the future, then your actions are very now and not very thought about of the consequences of your actions. So yeah, I sort of just, me being me is just me keeping what I like, discarding what I don't like, and exploring what I may like. And that reminds me of being about 15, 16. I mean, I was like that throughout my life, but I gained more confidence. I gained a bit of a step in my walk because I was older, because I was, you know, I'd learned more, experienced more, been through more, had a better understanding. Thought I knew it all. Not all, but thought I knew loads. And with that, I knew enough. I'm guessing. I didn't have this grasp to know loads. I just picked up a lot throughout my life and just continued like going about my life. This, without these, as Kanye West describes it, these coffee tables, these barricades in the way stopping you from just doing those things, being that. Like, I would just go to the gym, just fat stogie. Hang on, come on, Delilah, lay down, chill out. Mark of the Beast is trying to influence the attention, but it's okay. Come on, lay down, Delilah. Alright, just do you, just chill, okay? It's okay, chill out. Well, like the song's saying, the moment has already passed, so we just flow on to another flow. I say, being back in that state of being, of just doing you. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, yeah, it's not even like, oh, going to the gym, but no matter where I'd go or doing, I'd just do what felt right and just loved it. And just, if I wasn't with people, I would just absolutely love being on my own. So I'd just be going to the gym, fat stogie in mouth, favourite music on the way. I'm just loving life, not caring about a thing, not worried like, will someone smell this? Will somebody notice? You know, I'll go in there stinking. But admitting this example of it's not that serious. I'm just loving. I'm there. Like, for me, the Stoke really helps get rid of that mundaneness. I'd be training, I feel the muscles, I feel the fibers ripping, I feel the tension, I feel when my body's like, yeah, we're gonna injure ourselves if we go past this point. I feel it all so much more. I'm so much more conscious, I'm so much more in with the music and the flow and the rhythm of it all, and just disconnected from everything else around me and just focusing on me. Just like, you know? That way of living is back for me, because I hit a point where enough things had happened to sort of stop me in my tracks a little bit at a certain point. It was after my first, like, every single relationship I've been in, I've loved dearly, but there was like, what I knew of it at the time, as time goes on, every single one, that's what I'm saying, but as I knew of it at the time, that was what I thought love was, I guess you could say. However I could put it into terms, but that's where the first catalyst, she was the first catalyst that made me think, okay, well, if this person who loved me dearly and all of these things they've said, but then they do all of these things, how many people around me are doing the same thing? And that's when I fell into the rabbit hole, at that exact point, right there, when I started to sit back and observe, instead of just reacting, just going, just doing, just going. You know, I took a step back and was like, right, I need to see what's going on here, because there is more. There is more. And oh, did I find more. Ooh. But I'm so glad I found more. I'm so glad I went there. I'm so glad I went through it all. It's not like it just started there, but the consciousness started there. Everything up until that point just seemed like life and luck, and I used to sit there in my friend's shed while everyone else is inside. I'm just there with my Stoke, chill music like I have now. I've got a bit of Radiohead on. It's just just beautiful vibes, and I'm just there looking at the stars, just like, why am I so unlucky? Hey, why is it me who's had to deal with and go through all of these things and see things from this perspective and not take these things for granted? Like, I would be honest, at the time, like at that very time, that was probably one of the last times I was jealous of other people, because the answer sort of come, well, it did come, but I was like, well, how can people, you know, they got everything that I wanted, a nice stable home, loving, caring parents that provide and push growth and push creativity, and just unconditionally loving, doing the best that they can, just like everybody did. There's no, because that's what I learned as well, is like everyone's doing that the best that they can, or the best that they think, the thing that they think is best. We're all trying to make the best decisions. There's none of that stuff, you know. We're all trying to make the best decisions at heart. Nobody wants to make a bad decision. And I sort of learned in that moment, like, well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Because I've had the lack of, it's made me appreciate it, being able to have it one day. it being a possibility, it being there being a difference, there being like, I learned, how can I be jealous because their life is different to mine, and because their life is different to mine, their outcome is different to mine. And it's not about this, it's just about, I wouldn't be who I am if these things didn't happen. It's that simple. I wouldn't have the viewpoints, I wouldn't stand how I stand. I know I'm repeating myself here, but it's true. It's true. Like, I'm so thankful for, because it's all of that made me who I am. It's like the fact that there was something there for me to like at that moment there. Like, what made me appreciate that and see that in more depth is because it made me want these things from a very young age. From a very young age, I made the vows. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't be like this. I wouldn't say these things. I wouldn't act like this. I would be different. I would be better. I will evolve. I didn't know that term at the time, but that's what it is. I didn't know I would alchemize it all into love, but that's what it is. Like, all of it. I'm going to get more into detail as time goes on, but everything that I thought was unlucky or bad, or at times when I didn't realise everything happened for a reason, I would change. I realised they are the things that I most certainly wouldn't change because of who I am. And it's been like that throughout my whole life. Well, no, since that jealousy part. Like 17 maybe, no, 19 I was. So I'm 23 now, 4 years ago. Sat there, and at that point I sort of realised, like, yeah, I don't want to be anyone, I want to be me. So how can I compare myself to anyone? Not in a bad sense. You can use comparison for improvement. You can compare what you do and what they do and be like, yeah, they're doing that better, I like that, pick that up. But I don't want to be them. I always was happy being me. I didn't want to be anyone else. There's never anyone I've seen that I was like, I want to be just like you. I was always, I want to be just like me. But yeah, from a young age I made that vow. That I would have lots of, that my children would be better than me. I want them to be better than me. I'll provide what they need for them to be better than me. Now that's something I'm proud of. Actually proud of. That's not just the whole, that's just, I'm proud of that because that makes little me happy. And that's why I'm happy, because little me's happy with me looking after me. And if little me's happy with me looking after me, then hopefully the little part of me's and everything else, you know. That includes you, Delilah. You know you're a massive part of this. But right now, I need to speak it out. You know.